In this video we're going to look at transforming and recoding variables using the program SPSS. Okay, and I've already got SPSS open. I've got the GSS General Social Survey 2010 data, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be identifying and transforming three variables so that I can create an index called confidence in government. And the three variables I'll be transforming, I'll show you if I go to transform, recode into different variables, and I want to find the variables called confidence in the executive branch, confidence in the United States Supreme Court, and confidence in Congress. Okay, and now I'm going to give these all, I'm going to be recoding these into a new variable, and so this one will be confed new, and I'll change that. This one will be conjudge new, and I'll change that. And this one will be, you guessed it, conlegis new. Okay, so basically just putting the word new on the end of the old variable name. And now I need to specify the old and new values. Okay, so in this case, the way these variables are coded, a 3 means a person has very little confidence, and a 1 means they have a great deal of confidence, and 2 is neutral. So I want to reverse it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3, which is little confidence, become 1. Okay, so I'll put 3 as the old value, 1 as the new value, and then I'll add that. 2, because it's a middle value, remains the same, so I'll keep that the way it is. And a 1, which used to mean a great deal of confidence, will now be a 3, meaning a great deal of confidence, so that the higher number means more confidence in the way that we're recoding this. And the last step is always all other values system missing, just in case there are some cases that are not coded as 1, 2, or 3. And this looks like else becomes sysmiss, system missing. And we'll click continue. Okay, and then we'll go through these. These all should be the same now. We're recoding all three of these at once, so I don't have to go through and plug in the same old and new values for each of these. Since they're all coded the same way, they're all going to be recoded the same way, so we're all done. We just click OK. And nothing remarkable happens. You just see the syntax generated in the output window, and you see this syntax here is what we did. Recode, confed, conjudge, and conlegis, where 3 becomes 1, 2 becomes 2, and 1 becomes 3, and everything else is missing. And these are recoded into the new variables confed new, conjudge new, and conlegis new. You see that corresponds to these three over here. You don't need to know the syntax, but it doesn't hurt to know what you're looking at here. So how do you know if it worked? Well, you need to go to the data set, actually, the data view. You're looking at the output window. You need to look at the variable view, and if you scroll down to the bottom in variable view, you should see the three new variables here: confed new, conjudge new, and conlegis new. And if you look at data view, you should see, if you scroll all the way to the right, a bunch of 1s and 3s, and these missing ones are where the variables were not coded 1, 2, or 3. All right. Now we're going to compute an index which adds these three together. So currently a 3 in confed new means that somebody is extremely confident in the federal government. Here a 3 means for conjudge new that somebody is extremely confident in the Supreme Court. And for conlegis new, if somebody gets a 3, it means they're extremely confident in the legislature or Congress. So if we add these three together, we're going to create a variable called confidence in government. All right, and we're going to do that by doing transform, compute variable. We're going to create a new variable called congov and index, just so we know that we're making this. Then we're going to find the three variables we recoded, and we're going to add them together. Okay, so we're just selecting them, moving them over, adding them together. Okay, so it should say confed new plus conjudge new plus conlegis new, and that's going to equal this new index, congov index. Click OK, and again we just get some syntax. It shows you the syntax for what we did. compute congov index equals those three variables. If you go back to the variable view, we can see that congov index is here. If we want, we can give this a label. Confidence in government index. We can also label the other ones if we want. I'm just going to skip over that. If you go to data view, you should scroll over to the right, and now you're going to see anything that ranges from 3 to 9. And a 3 would be 1 plus 1 plus 1. A 9 would be 3 plus 3 plus 3, which would mean high level of confidence in all the branches of government. So 3 is the lowest value. That would mean here this person had little confidence in all the branches of government, right? So at this point, I like to do a descriptive analysis of the new variables, analyze descriptive statistics, scroll down and select those, both the recoded variables and the index we created. I'm going to also create a chart there. So, yeah, we don't get a chart if we do it this way. How about we go to the analyze descriptive frequencies instead of descriptives? That way we can create a chart. And we'll move that over. Let's use bar chart. Pie chart would be fine. And then you want to do percentages. Okay, we'll do continue, and then we'll click OK. And what we'll see are the variables we recoded, both a frequency table and an associated chart. And this is in percentages. So now we can see when it comes to confidence in the federal government, the executive branch, we click that. I like to show the data labels by double-clicking and choosing that option. And then we close out of that. And we see that most people are in the middle. Very few people have a great deal of confidence in the executive branch, and much more have very little confidence there. When it comes to the Supreme Court, again, most people are in the middle. Let's get a percentage, though, by including that. Show data labels. Close that. And so we see about 30% have a great deal of confidence in the Supreme Court, much better than the executive branch or the presidency and its cabinet. And then the last one, con legis, has to do with Congress. And again, we'll show the data labels to see the percentages. And look, this is quite horrible. Only little over 8% are extremely confident in our Congress. Not very good for them. This is 2010 data. Equal number are either indifferent or opposed, very little confidence. And this is when we add them together, we generate this thing we're calling the confidence in government index, which is a composite of all three branches, right, added together. And we see most people fall in the middle. A very small percentage have a high level of confidence in all three branches. It's only 3% there. And certainly a greater share of the population has less confidence in government overall. But most people fall in the middle. And that concludes our discussion.